Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and happy belated 4th of July. That was yesterday, and I didn't do a video yesterday because I was at FantasyCon up in Salt Lake City. We now have 3 major geek culture type conventions every year. We have 2 Comic-Cons. In September we have regular Comic-Con, in April we have our Comic-Con fan experience, and then in July we now have FantasyCon. And yesterday was a fantastic day up there. FantasyCon is a little bit different than in format and in theme and everything else than Comic-Con, and I'll get into a little bit more of that later in the video. First thing I wanted to start off with was I've got a little bit of a photo montage that I'm going to put on here for you. Just a few photos that I took yesterday, along with some narration. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, starting off here, we've got some sick looking armor here. Then I got to meet Ricky from Heroes of Cosplay, which was a treat. And we had, I just wanted to take a picture of this lady. I thought her costume and her look and everything was pretty freaking cool. Me and Jabba, hopefully you can tell the difference between the two. I had to get the Ewoks in there. I know some people hate them, but I had to. And then the magnificent dragon that they had there. It was awesome. Gandalf. We had, looks like we got Chewbacca here. And that was a pretty good Chewbacca. I'll give him that. Had Delicious Crumb, another Star Wars character you should recognize. We had the 3 witches here, and for some reason their cauldron wasn't working, which was upsetting. And then finally we had their little mascot there, Rocky, for FantasyCon. Okay, so there's the photos, the few that I took. Next thing I wanted to talk about was when I said that there was a difference in the theme and the format to FantasyCon over the regular Comic-Cons. This one was much more interactive. There was an archery range. There was a lot more areas where you could cosplay, and there was even an arena for simulated battles where you could actually, anybody that wanted to could just sign a waiver and get in there with you know, the practice swords and all that stuff, and do, you know, battles and all that stuff. And a lot of people that came and cosplayed in armor and all that stuff took place in that. There was there was a fire show. There was a stage for there was like an orchestra type thing that was playing different themed music, you know, fantasy themed music and that kind of stuff. There was a lot more interactivity to it than we saw at Comic-Con. There were not as many big name celebs for signings and all that. However, they did have quite a few. Most of the people from the Hobbit movies. They had Sean Astin. Elijah Wood actually did the kickoff kickoff party on Wednesday. He actually guest DJ'd for the kickoff party and everything. So you had Elijah Wood, you had Sean Astin. I got to meet Mr. John Rhys-Davies, who played Gimli, of course, as everybody knows him, and got to get a little autograph. Didn't get to take a picture with him. They had special, you know, areas set up for photo ops and stuff where you had to pay for that and everything. But I did get to meet him. He was a really nice guy. And what was surprising of all things was when I told him, he commented on my hat and everything, and I said, well, you know, I'm a veteran, so I got to show my colors. And he had on a U.S. flag tie, and he said, well, you know, I wear this so that you all know that there's no hard feelings, because you know he's from Great Britain, so and I can't do a British accent, so you know. But anyway, so and then as he's signing the thing, he says, so let me ask you, when are you guys going to adopt a foreign policy? I mean, out of the blue, he asked me that question, and I don't know what I was like, I have no idea. He's like, well, I've been lived here for a long time, and I've never seen you guys more divided. And I said, yeah, well, it's not. I can't disagree with him, but that's getting into a whole political thing and everything. So, but I just thought it was kind of funny that out of all the things that he would ask me, he'd ask me about America's foreign policy. So, anyway, just thought that was something that you guys might find interesting. Also, from the pictures, you guys saw that I got to meet Ricky from Heroes of Cosplay. Now, if you don't watch that show, if you have any interest in cosplay, just being a fan of it, or maybe eventually getting into it, and seeing the professionals, what they do as they go on a circuit of all these different conventions and everything, it's pretty interesting to watch, and you see an awful lot of good costumes and stuff, and you see how much they put into doing all these. And so I got, she was doing autograph pictures, and this happens to be my favorite outfit that her favorite costume that she's ever done. That was from Heroes of Cosplay. I forget which convention they were at where she did that. And that is the female Rocketeer there. And I was glad to see that she had this one available, so that was a real treat. Then we'll get into the loot, the stuff that I had to, of course, had to part with money. Every time I go there, I end up spending more than I should. But I'll start with this goblet. I own a lot of beer mugs, a lot of steins, you name it. But I don't own any goblets. Well, I didn't until yesterday. And this one, I just thought, with the dragon and the jewels, and it's heavy. That's a beefy, goblet there. And the thing that sold it for me was this part is dishwasher safe and everything, and they said that way you protect this and you can just clean this, and it just goes right back on there, and there you have a really nice decorative goblet. And I will be using that whenever the situation dictates that I feel like having a little bit of wine. That's what I'll be using. So that was, I think that was $25 for that goblet. And then at the same place, I got this, which is kind of a leather, I don't want to call it a satchel, but it is like a pouch type of a thing. And I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's actually an etching on here. Yeah, some of it's coming out. There's actually an etching here of a pirate map. There we go. That shows it pretty good. There's actually an etching of a pirate map, treasure map on here, and which is pretty cool. And then on the inside, it has pockets here for whatever. What would really be cool would be if I could find some really cool, maybe decorative or antique looking or medieval looking throwing daggers. I think this pouch would be perfect for that. Put some throwing daggers in here, and I could end up using this, as a DM, Dungeon Master for Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. I could even put some parchment in there, and get somebody to do calligraphy or something like that, and I could do something to work it into a game of Dungeons and Dragons or something. Use it as a prop, and it has a nice leather strap and everything on it. But it's good quality soft leather and everything. So I thought that's pretty freaking cool, So actually, I got that and that goblet. I talked about this one. I think was like 12 or 13 or 15 or something like that, and this was 25. And I told him, I said, I'll give you 35 for both. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So and then one last thing. There was a guy there who is taking old game controllers. And I'll hold this up because I've actually got it connected. So he's taking old game controllers and he is turning them into something functional. He's made them into a USB, kind of an extension cord type deal. So you just, you plug this one into your computer, and then you can plug any USB item into this, So it's more of like an extension cord type thing. And then it's got these holes and stuff here for pencils. And so when you set it, you can, you can set pens and pencils and that type of stuff. And then he's got a little magnet right here for like paper clips and that kind of stuff. And so what I use it for, I've got it sitting here on the desk now, and my trusty mini lightsaber fits right in there, as well as a couple different pens and stuff like that. And it just looks cool sitting on the desk. And it allowed me to hook my mouse into it as an extension for my mouse, where now I don't have to have my mouse going all around my monitor and everything else like that. And it actually causes me less problems with the cord, because I do have a corded mouse. It causes me less problems with that, having it where it is now. So that does it for the loot. You saw the 2 autograph pictures. You saw the other stuff I bought. And I think that, because it looked like this is pretty much a success, this FantasyCon. It looks like it's going to be they're saying it's going to be an annual thing. So if you are anywhere nearby that, if you live in Vegas or anyway, it might be worth the drive up here for one of the Comic-Cons or FantasyCon. Salt Lake City is quickly becoming a mecca, it looks like, for geek nerd culture type stuff. We're also going to have Evermore Park next year, which is going to be an adventure park. And I've talked about that before in one of my videos. You can Google, Evermore Park, and you can see the information on that. It's going to be a very interesting, one-of-a-kind, unique adventure park that they're building. So I think that'll do it, guys. Until next time, we will catch you on the flip side.